Rob Barrett. You're watching TakeAways. This is one of my favorite books by Bob Goff. He's got this crazy dude, but you'll see that if you read the book. But I'm going to give you my takeaways from it so you don't have to read it, and I'll save you time. You should read it, but anyways, what I'm going to do is I read through the book, I underline stuff, and then I'm going to just go through in the video and show you what I've underlined and give you my takeaways. So Bob Goff, he writes this from a Christian perspective. So if you don't believe in God or you're not a Christian, some of it may not apply, but there's still a lot of things that you can be inspired about. That's why I would say this book is really inspiring. But number one, Bob's office is in Disneyland. He has a bench at the end of Tom Sawyer Island that he calls his office. That's where he has meetings. And I love that. So have an office or a workplace where you like to go. It doesn't have to be an office. Go to a coffee shop. Or we're here at Yum meeting with my friend Peter today, who's running camera. Find a fun place to office and work from there. I thought, that's brilliant. Leave the typical behind. No one changes the world by doing the same thing that everyone else has done. Try to find something that's not typical. So like officing at Disneyland, for instance. Number three, love in audacious and contagious ways. He tells the story about a guy who threw this huge proposal thing with boats and everything, and the girl had to say yes, right? Love in big ways. Try to think, how can I love bigger? How can I love more audaciously? How can I love more contagiously? I'm just inspired by that. Number four, sometimes what God has for us is just around the bend. We want something really bad, it's not coming, and we can be frustrated, but sometimes we're just not ready for it, or it's not ready for us. And so don't be afraid to be patient or to keep at something because you didn't get it right away. Sometimes what God has for us is just not, we're not ready yet, so keep at it. Number six, don't be afraid to say yes. Try to find ways to say yes. So even like the guy begging on the street, my wife challenged me the other day. She filled the car with waters in Costco bars, whatever. And every time we stop, the guy's holding a sign, homeless vet, right? She wants to give him water or a bar. I'm like, they don't want water or bars. And she goes, you're being finicky. You should be more like Bob Goff. Let's give him waters and bars. And we did, and she was right. So find ways to say yes to opportunities. I thought that was really good. Love does. Love is not a feeling. Love does things. I love it. It's actually the title of the book. Love does. Find ways that you can do loving things to each other. Friends do things for each other. If your friends won't do, get new friends. That's what I would say. He tells a story of his kids wrote like 100 national leaders around the world, and then the leaders wrote back and they went and they visited like all these countries and they met with all these leaders of countries and just had this friendship time, and now the leaders of these countries come and stay with them at their house. What a cool thing. Just do things like that. God asks us to join the adventure, not buy into a religion. I think that's so true. Even when Jesus would be on the Sea of Galilee, he'd call out to his disciples, hey, come follow me. Not like, hey, let me teach you some things about religion. He would say, hey, come join the adventure. And reframing what you believe about Christianity or what God's calling you in your life, I love that. Hey, come join the adventure with Jesus. I just thought that was really cool. It's number 9. I just love this one right here. Words spoken by kind people can really affect people's lives. Say kind things to people. You don't know what the impact of that will be on their life. You can say a kind word to someone, to a student or a friend, and you can have a huge impact on the rest of their life. You won't even realize it, but try to find ways to say kind things to people and encourage them. Number 10, we shouldn't speak about God with an assurance we don't have. And risk misquoting the maker of the universe. I like that. Some people say, God told me this. Really? You sure? It doesn't make any sense. People who hear his voice all the time, you're like, I think you're watching too much Netflix, because God works in more covert ways, it seems like, and Bob talks about that in the book. And he quotes Paul. He says, now we only know in part, but then we shall know fully. Now we see through a dark glass, but then we shall see clearly. That's, I think, how God works in our lives. Number 11, you are unique. There's only one you. Be yourself. Don't put up a fake version of you. Bob talked about buying an amazing piece of art for a lot of money, and they gave him a fake one to hang, and you put the beautiful one in the vault. And he's like, why would I want to put a fake version of the painting up when I have the real one? And God's like that with you. He made you, and He made you unique. So why would you put up a fake version of yourself? For people to, put up your real thing. Put up the real painting. Be real with people. Only one of you. And so why cover that up with something else? God delights in answering impossible prayers. In order for that to happen, you have to pray impossible prayers. So dream big. God wants you to ask for things that seem huge and impossible to do. God talks about a bunch of things he did to save Ugandan slave kids from their witch doctor masters. It's so cool. So pray audacious prayers. Pray big prayers. Whatever you're dreaming, dream bigger than that. Number 13, have a posture of palms up. You see my palms? Have a posture of palms up. When Bob is a lawyer, and when he would take his clients and they would go into the courtroom, he says, don't be sitting like this or hiding your hands. Have your palms up. It shows a posture of receptivity, of being receivable, of receiving things. And it's true, you even feel differently if you have your palms down like this, or in fists, or up like this. It changes your emotional output. So have a posture of palms up. And then number 14, one of the last ones, don't confuse what you do with who you are. Who you are is different from your job. If your job is not maybe perfect, that's not who you are. So be encouraged that those are two different things. You can be a janitor and still be a world changer, as long as you want to do unique things. You want to pray audacious prayers. If you want to love, and love do things. Love does. So I would read the book, but those are the 14 things that I took away from it. There you have it. Takeaways for the day.